Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. It seems like more mercenaries, by definition, because they are the special, or not special, but the security forces of our enemies, they're getting engaged in the war on the territory of Ukraine. And that is, Gazprom has a security force, a private security force, allegedly, or at least reportedly by the Business Insider, they will get involved in the war. Now, this could show either weakness or strength. It remains to be seen. Weakness, because you can say, well, we need these guys because our military is losing, or it could be seen as strength by the fact that, hey, we're going to have more military coming, more fighters, mercenaries, however we want to call them. So let's get into this little article coming from Business Insider via Yahoo Finance. And it says that Russian energy giant Gazprom's private security force was deployed to fight in Ukraine, report says. Gazprom's private security companies have forces fighting in the Ukraine war, the Wall Street Journal said. The energy giant got to go ahead to establish a security force in February. And I'm quoting, "I want to tell my colleagues at Gazprom, don't go to Ukraine, stay at home," end quote. Russia's state-owned energy Gazprom now supplies more than just natural gas. Well, according to the Wall Street Journal, it is actively helping provide manpower to the front lines of Russia's war on Ukraine. First authorized by the Kremlin to do so in early February, the energy giant has spent recent months establishing private security companies and recruiting additional troops for Russia's war, often fighting under the directive of the Defense Ministry. What do you mean? They were able to recruit? I thought the Russians are weak and they don't want, and they run into Latvia, Estonia, Balkanablia. Okay, someone has been lying, as we know. Though the security firms were founded on the pretext of defending Russia's energy sector, recruits ended up in Ukraine weeks later. Some in the group, made up of former soldiers and company security personnel, were forcibly recruited, adding that they were trained at a Russian base and shipped off to Bakhmut, the area of eastern Ukraine that has seen the fiercest fighting in recent months. And I'm quoting, "I want to tell my colleagues at Gazprom, don't go to Ukraine, stay at home," end quote. A former Gazprom security guard who was sent to Ukraine was injured, said in a video obtained by this. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they will not, Wall Street Journal will not promote others who would say, no, go over there. They just promote whatever fits their agenda. The company didn't immediately respond to insiders' request for comment. Gazprom didn't respond to journals' request for comment. Compared to the Wagner Group, a private militia of 50,000 that has played a significant role in Russia's military effort, Gazprom's collective force is smaller, accounting for thousands of recruits. It could grow. However, they are paid higher wages and tend to be better trained. Okay, well, bad news, I guess. The energy firm efforts may also provide some solution to Russia's growing manpower shortage. They have a manpower potential of about 30 million people, but hey, they have a shortage somehow. As President Putin seems reluctant to issue another mobilization decree. Of course, he doesn't want it. Why should he? For him, it's okay as it is. It seems like, why should he rock the boat? That's after an October mobilization of 300,000 recruits led to a mass exodus of citizenry out of Russia. Mass exodus. What do you mean? 20? 100? 1,000? Okay, is 1,000 a mass compared with what? With 145 million people? Yeah, it's like you get out of a shower and I call you, hey, you're still dirty, and say, what do you mean, I just took a shower, used soap, yeah, but you still have some dirt over there underneath your nail. Now that is the massive exodus. Versus what? You're still dirty, so useless to call you, hey, I'm clean, I took a shower. Idiots. But anyway, we're supposed to think like this, my friends. We're supposed to think like this. I learned this here in college, university, United States of America, when they try to destroy the general rule, the overwhelming valid rule of something, like for instance, that's gravitation, the gravitational acceleration. If you drop this, it's going to go down. I will not. All right. When some people say, no, actually, there are cases when you toss it and then it's going to go. So you see, it's going to come down. So you see, that's not always like that. All right. Or, hey, humans are bipeds. Yes, they walk in two limbs. No. Not all of them. There are about 5 or 6 people on this planet who don't, because they have some, and they see your general rule. Everything is relative. Knowledge is relative, science is relative. Therefore, a man could be identified as, because it is. He just, this is how that was a long time ago, and I've been taught that that's the way it is. And I say, what are you talking about? That's why that's a special rule, the general rule, because they have a general rule. The same here. It's a small, it's just, they need it, they have a problem with mobilization. They don't want to do it. They have their own ambitions over there. They don't want to create the problems within Russia. But that's my assessment of that. And regarding the Gazprom doing this, I remember another, it's not called mercenary because he fought for the United States of America, so we don't have mercenaries. It was Blackwater. Do you remember Blackwater? All right, if you don't, I will remind you about them. It was a private military company. These guys were the trailblazers, all right, of the, you don't call them mercenaries, you call them private military company. At least I heard about them first when they were deployed. They went over there to help in Iraq, if you know what I mean. They were just helping. Some of them unfortunately got this and that. I remember then that there were reports, the mass media was reporting, though they get about $250,000 a year or so, these private military, fighters. There were some reports, 250,000. I don't know if that's accurate. That's what I read, and I'm pretty sure you can still find that. Now, there's another point. The point I want to make is the guy who founded, I think, Blackwater was a guy called Mike, I think, Prince, not Prince, not that one. And he was somehow connected with Johnson Controls, I think through his father or something like that, who sold and all that. So Gazprom, private military company, private Johnson Controls, Prince, the symbol, and the guys fighting in how do you call it, in Iraq. You can find some parallels here and there. It doesn't have to be the same because they're not the same. Okay, I'm just saying Wagner Group learned from those guys. These guys learn from those guys, and those guys are getting angry that these guys are getting better at something they started, and they don't like it. That's why they call them mercenaries. They're accusing them of doing this and doing that. Remember, accusation is I accuse, hey, you've been to the neighbors last night. That's an accusation. And she says, okay, well, bring the evidence. I'm working on it. All right, well, the accusation is just an accusation. All right, it doesn't go past that unless you bring evidence, and then it goes to something else. The same here. So I think I'm not for people dying whatsoever, but sometimes you have to defend yourself, like Ukraine does, and by itself against the evil Russians with the support of the good people in the West, which is them. Now us, we give money without being asked, we give weapons without being asked, and somehow we de-escalate the situation. But hey, this is a different way of seeing things. You want to kill a fire, you put more gasoline on it, and it definitely is going to go down. Like right now in Kosovo, NATO troops send about 700, NATO sends about 700 more troops into there to de-escalate the conflict. All right, we'll find out what's going to happen. An accident will happen, and the Serbian military will cross the border, as they said, if their Serbian brothers get killed or displaced. All right, thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.